This is Dabu 7. A heads up for what looks to be a big event coming around the corner, and it could be a culmination of things strung together. But what we're seeing right now are some ominous signs. We've got some of the biggest CEOs of the biggest companies out there slashing all their inventory ahead of the busiest time of the year. This has people that watch charts and that watch this daily scratching their head and saying, hold on a second, something's about to happen, or something huge is about to go down. And of course, we've talked about the recession, inflation, all these factors tied in together because of this Biden regime and where they're sending everything. But we had one is about to go down. And of course, we've talked about the recession, inflation, all these factors tied in together because of this Biden regime and where they're sending everything. But we had one CEO, the one of FedEx, actually come out and say that he believes this is where it's all going, downhill into a major recession. Maybe these others are just not willing to admit it, but their actions are speaking louder than words. We have Walmart, Target, and other retailers canceling billions of dollars. And it just doesn't make any sense. Holiday season is typically the busiest time of the year, and at this time in 2021 there was actually a great deal of concern that there wouldn't be enough inventory to go around due to the global supply chain problems. Everything's changed now. Now all of a sudden the retailers are feverishly canceling orders, trying to make it match the environment from a year ago. Something huge is going on here, folks. When you have this many companies making these moves, let's look at some of the numbers here. Walmart is admitting that it just canceled billions of dollars in orders. Okay? Then you go down here and the next one, Target, has canceled more than 1.5 billion in orders. So billions. It turns out Kohl's and Under Armour have also been canceling large numbers of orders as well. So it just continues to stack up, and it seems kind of obvious to me that all of these CEOs are walking out of a meeting because they're part of a big club that you're not a part of, and they're told what's coming and to prepare and to do things accordingly, and it looks like they're doing that. So call it the writing on the wall or just paying attention to what's going on around you. These types of actions only mean one thing. There's going to be a whole lot less of goods in this country in the coming months ahead. That's for sure. Going into the busiest time of year in terms of buying the holiday season. So how is this going to turn out? You don't know. All I can say is I hope folks have a plan out there and see where this is going. The global government here steering everybody into a trap. Join me Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern as I break this down further. Hit that subscribe button below. This has been Dabu 7. Much love.
Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. News in this gospel of God, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is the Aki and Mahalaya coming back with another lesson, Lord's will be edifying. Going into these shortages, man, and the lack of supplies. I know as recent as going in and out of certain stores, there have been shortages and there have been price hikes. Okay, depending on what part of town you live in, things are becoming scarce. Even though you do have shelves that are fully stocked or they appear to be stocked, those are basically like reserves, man. Okay, and back stock. But overall, things ain't really moving like they used to be because you know, we're in a time of a global economic collapse, which this is the elites putting the rug from under you people by design, okay, because they want to get you people to bow down to this system, okay, with the particular rituals that they're doing, you know, with the particular seances they're casting out, the demons. You know, you hear this whole Queen of England to succumb from old age, allegedly. You have this whole ritual of them building a third temple of this red heifer, which they're trying to give sacrifices on the left-hand side, which is not going to be acceptable by the Most High. But overall, man, we're in a time of Esau setting up this new world order. So in order to get people on board with it and put people under the rule of thumb, then hey, they're gonna start starving people out. And this is Bible prophecy, okay? And this is actually prophesied in the scriptures, and this is the left hand of the Lord that's actually in operation here, okay? So Dabu was going into Walmart and other major U.S. retailers canceling billions of dollars in orders ahead of summer comes to an end, and he made some good points. Here, mainly in the West, this is the biggest time for shoppers, okay? From peak season September all the way up until Black Friday or December, you have what they call Black Friday. You got Cyber Monday when you have so-called discounts on sales like TVs and so forth, okay, which those TVs ain't really worth that much anyway. So to honestly speaking, when they mark them down, that's actually the price they're worth. Okay, they have what they call markups when they mark the price of these particular goods up, you know, from market value, so to speak. But ultimately speaking, these things they're getting canceled, okay, like your PS5s, your TVs, your ready to store order, Target, which Target is expensive anyway, but nonetheless, this is gonna put a blowback in a lot of people's holiday plans because, you know, people, they was expecting to have somewhat of a good Christmas, all right? But every year since the pandemic began, things have been declining more and more, okay? So it says here, as you see below, Walmart, Target, and other major U.S. retailers are literally canceling billions of dollars in orders ahead of the coming holiday season. And like I said, the shopping for holiday season starts roughly in September, okay? Because by October, November, people they pretty much got what they need to get. Unless you're a last minute shopper, then you deal with Black Friday, you know, you're gonna get the cyber deals and stuff like that. But overall, man, if they're canceling billions of dollars in orders, that means that they know something is coming, okay? Going back into those top CEOs, those millionaires that became billionaires on the cusp of trillionaires before this whole pandemic began. Hey, they already warned them and told them, like, liquidate your assets, get your stocks out, you know, withdraw your accounts and get out of Dodge because we're getting ready to crash this system. And this is pretty much what's happening now, okay? Because, hey, you people, man, you swarping down, you have stability, you think that you have longevity, and Yahweh Shai is taking this shit from you, man, okay? Like the scripture said, that the birth of the land will cease. You know how people feel about their possessions. So it says, I've never heard of such thing happening before, and under normal conditions, it wouldn't make any sense at all. It says the holiday season is typically the busiest time of the year for retailers, which they look forward to that, you know. And what's so weird, because I was at the store the other day, and shit, you had 75-inch TVs, 75-inch TVs that was marked down 20-30%. Okay, now Walmart, those 75 inches run you anywhere between $700 and $900, sometimes a little bit more, cheaper depending on what brand. But if you take 30% off fucking $700, man, you're getting that TV for a little bit over $600, man. You know, because nobody is buying anything anymore. You know, so while the goods and so forth of these particular things are getting cheaper because they're marking them down, the price of food is going up. Like out here, they have a place called Hy-Vee, which they're doing what they call, I believe it's like some type of Cyber Tuesday or some shit they do, when they sell ground chunk for $1.99 a pound. Okay, Doritos for $1.84. You got particular Hy-Vee brands that sold for 17 cents. You know, stuff like that. You know, these store brand products allegedly being written off as being cheaper. In reality, the store brand products are more healthier for you because it's less processing. You know, and that I found out. But regardless of that, this system is getting ready to crash, man. Okay? So it says the holiday season is typically the busiest time for the year for retailers. And at this time in 2021, there was actually a great deal of concern that there wouldn't be enough inventory due to global supply chain problems. Okay? And first thing first is the PlayStation 5s, man. That dropped or launched, I believe, 2019, 2020. Okay? When the PlayStation 5 consoles came out, they didn't really launch too many of them, and it took people fucking months to get them. Now they're kind of coming into fruition because on my Sony account, I get emails pretty much like twice a month saying, look, we got new PS5s in stock, we can buy them. Because people was camping out for weeks to get them damn things, man. Selling them at $1,000 a pop, but now you can go on Sony.com and get one for $500. But this coming holiday season, they may halt that. Okay, you got the Xbox Generation X, okay, which these things sell out within seconds because people, they camp for these things, man, okay? But a lot of people are getting ready to be disappointed because they put their faith and trust in the failing system, and we're going to get the precepts, all right? But it says here, but now everything has changed. It says all of a sudden major retailers are fervently canceling orders, and this would only make sense if a severe economic downturn was imminent, man. And we warned Jake, man, okay, that this whole thing about, you know, this system crashing, this digital CBDC, all this shit, man, it's just a matter of time, man. Like they call it the calm before the storm, okay? This is the calm before the storm. And guess what? You got Esau Edom to thank for this because, hey, the Lord is putting it in his spirit to do so, okay? So this is the book of Isaiah 26:10. It says, let favor be shown to the wicked. The wicked is the so-called white man, and the 2/3 of our people. But it says, yet he will not learn righteousness, okay? He's not learning righteousness because he's offering a wicked sacrifice on the left-hand side, okay? When you go to Genesis, the 4th chapter, it tells you about the sacrifices of Cain and Abel. Cain's sacrifice was not accepted. That's why the scriptures say, if thou does good, you would be accepted. But if not, then sin lieth at the door. And that's why Esau is forging his new world order. He's forging it under you people's face, man. And he's going to put it to you, he's basically going to put it to you by force. Okay, like he's going to force the Most High to accept his blessing. Okay, and the Lord ain't dealing with your sacrifice, man. Okay, with all this bullshit with the third temple being built. No, man, the temple was only being built at that time because, hey, the Messiah hadn't come yet. Okay, but during the time of the Romans, the second temple was sacked, man, during 70 AD. During the time of the Romans, Titus and Vespasian and Domitian Caesars invaded Jerusalem, okay, and we was scattered abroad, the falling away, you see. But the third temple was going to always be spiritual because you can read that. It says that the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, okay, which a spiritual tabernacle represents the body of the elect, man. Okay, so we don't need a physical building. And on top of that, we're not in the homeland. So you elites, man, all right, and you niggas that believe in the Old Testament, you still waiting on the first coming of the Messiah, when the Messiah has come already the first time. Now he's getting ready to come a second time. But anyway, back to the point, it says, in the land of uprightness where he deal unjustly. And what's the land of uprightness? The land of Israel. And he's dealing unjustly. Why? Because, hey, the scriptures say that the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covered the face of the other judges, man. And that's these devils. That's the reason why everything is pretty much falling and collapsing. Like, I believe you got Amtrak, if I'm not mistaken, going into like particular halts on Thursday and Friday, because I think they nearly missed a shutdown of the railroad system strike because people was protesting. Look, we working too much, we doing X, Y, and Z. And if you notice, a lot of these employers, man, they're a little bit more lenient now because, hey, these sectors are overworked because of the lack of labor force, okay, which is hurting the economy. But it says here, but he would deal unjustly and would not uphold the majesty of the Lord. It says, but the Lord, when thy hands is lifted up, they would not see, but they shall see and be ashamed for their envy of the people. Yea, the fire of thy enemy should devour them, man, okay? And you tribes, man, you getting ready to be devoured by the wrath of this devil, man, according to Revelation, the 12th chapter. All right? So, getting back to the point, this is the book of Sirach 5, and I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, set thy heart upon thy goods, and say not I have enough for my life, man. Because when things were good, like during the time of the Home Alone days, remember when Macaulay Culkin, I believe Home Alone 1, 2 lost in New York, I think that came out in 1991 or 92. Okay, when everybody had the big Christmas trees and the big snowstorms, you had about 30 gifts a kid under the tree. Those days are gone, man. Okay, when you get an extra large cheese pizza for fucking $5.99 and it's actually some quality food, those days are gone, man. Okay, the calm before the storm. And it says, follow not thy own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart, right? And this is what you people doing, starting with our people, walking in the ways of your own mindset. Oh, well, you know, we got to start businesses. Oh, we want equality with the white man. Oh, we believe in divine guidance. Oh, the universe made this happen. Look, man, squat all that. Okay, the Lord told you how to walk in the commandments, man. You see? And it says, and say not, who should control me for my works? As for the Lord, surely will revenge thy pride. And the Lord is getting ready to recompense your pride, man. Because you peasy-headed Babylonians, a.k.a. you Americans, man, you have been proud, okay, because you live lavishly. Okay, you've had the best jobs, the best apartments, the best homes, okay, the best lives, the best vehicles, the best food, okay. You've had the delicacies of life that people will literally pay and die to have, man. And you had it at your disposal when your beck and call of rape, rob, and murder, man. And you 2/3 Negroes, hey, you took part in that, man. Because I believe it's the scriptures in Ezra that tell you that basically sinners, roughly paraphrasing how some have not known me but received benefits. You got Jake, man, that's making good money. They head of departments, man. You know, Jake making good money out here. Some Jakes. It says here, say not I have sinned, and what harm have happened unto me. It says, for the Lord is long suffering, and you will in no wise let thee go concerning appropriation, and be not without fear to sin and to sin. Right, man. Okay, giving preeminence to sin, license to sin. You're not supposed to do that, but you've done that in this system. And this is why the Most High is attacking your he's attacking your economy. Okay, because hey, if you watch the railroad shortages or the railroad shutdowns from 1949, I believe, it tells you how the economy was pretty much broken down. People were losing jobs. I don't know if furlough was a thing then, but people was basically losing their jobs, man. Because remember, World War II happened shortly, not too far after the Great Depression. Okay, which helped trigger that whole event. Part of it, at least. All right. But it says here, make no tarrying. Matter of fact, it says, and say not his mercy is great, and he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation rested upon sinners. Okay, and you sinners, you Negro, Latino, and Native American, and you Edomites, because you took the covenant, or attempted to take the covenant in your mouth, man. Saying in God we trust, swearing the Bible, you know, setting yourself up as people, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call God in Jesus Christ. And you did that, man. So you're going to be judged by this law, okay? But it says, make no tarrying to serve the Lord, and put not off from day to day. It says, for certainly shall the wrath of Yahweh Shai come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of thy vengeance, right? Because, hey, you people have been in security. You know, as long as you get up, you got a job to go to, you're getting a constant paycheck every week, which the cost of living is going up. But as long as you got that and you got your car note paid, you people feel like, oh, okay, I got some time. But sooner than later, this time is running out, because this devil, what he's not telling you is that he's on a time frame. Okay, the Most High has this man on a strict time that he's getting ready to punch that clock. Okay, the sands of time, the hourglass is literally next to nothing for Esau, man. So he has just a little bit time left to rule, and the Most High is going to take him out. But it says, set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they should not profit thee in the day of calamity, man. All right, and Esau has done that. Okay, setting up a house he built it not. Okay, and this is why this is talking about. You see? So it says here, for example, Walmart is admitting that it has canceled billions of dollars in orders as we approach the upcoming holiday season. But it says John David Rainey, Walmart's EVP and CFO, said it had cleared most summer inventory. It was reducing exposure in electronics, home and sporting goods, man. Okay, because I went there for a TV mount, and they barely had the one I had. I had to make some shit work. You know, they was short on those things. You know, and TV mounts, I mean, you go to Amazon and pick up one by default, but usually when you go to a local store, they have that shit just sitting in the shelf, man, because ain't nobody really mounting TV. I mean, everybody's done it already, so you think that it will be in abundance on shelf, but they literally had a couple of boxes left, and I end up grabbing one of the last ones. But it says was reducing exposure in electronics, home and sporting goods. Okay, hey, trying to find lamps. I went there to look for some bath room, what you call it, the bath accessories and shit, the rugs, and they barely had that shit. I mean, they had it, but like the particular colors and stuff I was looking for, they didn't have it, man. You know, it was just completely out, and the shit they did have was overpriced. And it says here, in order to realign inventories, he said our actions in Q3, okay, which goes into quantitative easing or the quarterly thing, it says would allow us to make significant progress towards rationalizing absolute levels and mix, which would enable our stores to be well positioned ahead of the holiday season. Which is bullshit. They running out of product, man, because there's a haul on everything, because trains, you know, planes, important goods, ships, you still got ships out there in the California seaport, you know. But it says it is extremely odd that Walmart would desire to do such a thing. But recently I had an opportunity to stroll through a Walmart, and there were plenty of inventory holes. So what that would mean or make them suddenly cancel billions of dollars orders that they thought that were going to need for the holiday season. But perhaps some enterprising reporter would be willing to ask them a question. Meanwhile, we learned that Target has canceled more than 1.5 billion in orders, man. Okay, so your economy is getting ready to be shot down. For those of you out there that think that you have time left, hey, let's go here to the Thessalonians, man. Okay, because we've been warning you people that this shit is gonna come to a halt, and honestly, it can't come fast enough. Okay? So this is the book of 1 Thessalonians 5:2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. But when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming upon them as though travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. Because this thing is going to catch you in your comforts, man. One day you're going to be going out to Walmart or whatever retail store you shop at, and before you know it, it's going to be all hell breaking loose. People rioting and pillaging, looting, beating each other up, stabbing each other for the one of all things, according to the scriptures. You see? It says peace and safety, then sudden destruction, because when something is sudden, that means it's instant. Bam, you're done. All right? So, hey, brothers, man, hey, call Allah Yahweh Shimi Hawashai, man. Okay? Call Allah Yahweh Shimi Hawashai, man. That this place is finally falling. And honestly, I wish it fall a lot faster. Okay? Book of Ecclesiastes 12. And I'm going to start at verses 3. It says, in the days when the keepers of the house should tremble, and the strong men should bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, goes into your optimist. Okay, a gloomy future is ahead for America. Okay, a dark and a gloomy future, man, starting with this retail apocalypse stuff, which we've been in a retail apocalypse the last 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We've really been in it for the last decade, but I could say safely the last 6-7 years they've been closing stores left and right. Like Sears, pretty much no more. Payless, gone, man. Kmart, gone. Okay, and the list goes on and on, you know. And it says, and the door should be shut in the streets, and when the sound of the grinding is low, he should rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music should be brought low. Right, meaning that, hey, you ain't gonna be able to get up and go to work in the morning. You know, like you got that annoying ass alarm clock that you put on snooze. Like I put my shit on snooze like 2 or 3 times, man. Like I drag to work, you know. And it's like no matter how much money you make or how much the job could be gravy at times, it's just like you're just tired of it mentally. Okay, and people are getting to that point, and that's the reason why you only have 60% of the labor force. Okay, but it says when the sound of the grinding is low, which means work. All right, he should rise up at the voice of the bird, which is in the morning. Okay, like in the ancient world. Even in some farms, they had what they call the cock crew or the rooster, man. It'll balk until you get your ass up, you know, and that represents your alarm clock. So when your shit goes off at 5:30 in the morning, you ain't got no job to go to, man. Okay, you're gonna be looking for food and scrounging. When men like us, we're gonna be praising Yahweh Shemi Hawashai because we know that the end is near. And to the point you ain't gotta hear some dusty ass cracker voice telling you what to do, and a bunch of grimy, lame ass, wicked ass Negroes, man. Okay. And it says here, and also they should be afraid of that which is high, and fear should be in the way, and the almond tree should flourish, and the grasshopper should be a burden, and desire shall fail, because man goeth alone to his home, and the mourners go about in the streets, right? Because they're not going to have any particular business to resort to, you see? But anyways, with that, brethren, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Shemi Hawashai. And with that, shalom, and a ball to the next lesson. Shalom.